Okay, folks, here's my new garden. It is June 20th, 2022. And for the last 3 weeks, we've been in record heat in south of Houston. Uh, I'm 20 minutes from downtown Houston on the south side. And we've had double digits maybe 4 weeks ago. That's the last time we had double digit. Ever since then, it's been triple digit temperatures. 100, 101, 102, 103. And the sun has just been beaming. And I started late this year. I started growing. I planted my first crops probably towards the end of May. Uh, Most of them, some of them got planted just in the middle of May. And everybody was taking off. The purple hulls were taking off. The corn was taking off. The tomatoes looked really great. Cherry tomatoes, everything was taking off. And then here comes that sun. And that sun made everything just kill over. Or pretty much, they just couldn't take it. The water was drying up, before the day was out and everything. So I tried the white cover, the hoops, just to save slow, so that everything could get more sun still. But we got 3 more weeks, I believe. They're predicting at least 2 of them we're still going to be triple digits for some reason this year. So I don't know, is that global warming or not? But either way, I need to save my crop. So I went online and I ordered these two 20 by 20 black tarps. They're 40%. They say you're supposed to get the 30%, but I figure our sun is so intense down here and it's been so hot, I get the 40% sunblock and try it out. If it doesn't work right, I can always turn back around and get 30%. I use 2 tent frames, the pop-up tent frames. One of them is leaning right there because the wind had hit that one, but it still stands up. And the other one is still in good shape. But either way, they work just fine. The Velcro corners of these naturally grab a hold of the cover, which I was happy about. And I used some garden sticks, and some clamps, just to hold them up on the ends, so it worked out pretty well. I got a back entrance here, and I got a couple of side entrances. This is one here. Nice little side entrance. You just go in, and if you look under here, you can see all the goodies. Everything looks happy now. You can see my tomatoes. They're a bunch of green ones still, but they look happy. My peppers are coming up. I got 2 on this bush, maybe 3 or 4. Got a bunch of them there. I got 1 here, and then this guy here is just very happy. I got a bunch here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, something like that. And that's a pretty strong plant because that plant doesn't even need to be staked or held up. It's just holding all its fruit up on its own. It's got a lot of fruit on it. Anyhow, this bed here was purple hull and corn, and all the purple hulls just they came up really good, and then they just start throwing their leaves off. And they couldn't take the heat, I guess. They're trying to save themselves. And I tried everything, but since I've covered it, I start getting growth like that there. It went from looking like this here, like that guy right there. Let's see, that guy right there, to looking like that. And they're all starting to do that now. Look at that one. So just by putting this black cover on made a big difference. And those were turning yellow and starting. Those are purple hull too. They're a different type of purple hull. They're knuckle purple hull, and the other ones are cream purple hulls. And those back there are pink eye. And since I put this cover up, they all came up. And they look very happy. Okay. Then I have my peanuts, Valencia red peanuts, Virginia Valencia, and corn back there. My cherry tomatoes, they were producing lots of tomatoes. You see, there's lots of buds on this tree, and they just stopped. They just stopped putting out tomatoes. That sun, they just couldn't take it. There's a nice red one right there. I probably can pick him and have him for breakfast. Anyway, those are beefsteak tomato plants. They all were dying. They all were diseased. They all look like those lower leaves right there. See those lower leaves? They don't look too happy. They all look like that. And just by putting this cover on, changed their whole world. And then this guy here, this was a good tomato producer. It has buds everywhere. Look at that. And I said, well, hopefully it'll start producing. And guess what it did? It snuck me. If you look down here, it has them hitting, 2 of them hitting down there, and two on the way. Let's see if I can get the camera on. And 2 on the way. So it's even happy. You can see how many yellow leaves is in that plant. I just didn't want to start cutting and pruning. It's already, under stress, so I decided just leave everybody alone. My watermelon here, they just wasn't doing anything. They threw their initial leaves also, and they had 2 types of leaves, the ones we see, and they had the open, a traditional looking leaf. They threw those, but now they look happy. They look like they're reaching up to the sky now. If I get lower, you can see that they're actually climbing. And these bell peppers never did anything. They had a fruit, and I pulled one of the fruits to try to make it produce more, but the sun was just too much. And I just went to Home Depot yesterday, and I looked at their leftover bell pepper plants on the shelf. I guess they were unsold. They look terrible. And mine are starting to look like that too, but now they're looking like they're flourishing. They're becoming very bushy. And that's what we want. The only good thing about the sun, I think, was it kept me from having to prune them right away, to make them short and bushy, and they're doing it on their own. So now we're at my other original crop from back in May, purple hull peas. It was a thick crop, and I thinned them every 4 to 5 inches, thinking that would help them. That didn't help, so I thinned them some more, and then lots of them just killed over. They did not like the sun at all. That intense 100-degree weather every day. I watered, I kept it, wasn't nothing I can do. But that is as a result. It went from looking like that to a bunch of twigs and stems. If you look, to now that's what I'm getting. There's another one. So even the corn over here was starting to look sick. So over here is a mixture of purple hull and peanuts. And they look happy too. As you can see, they started dropping the leaves too. They start throwing them. There's a couple back there. So this cover turned out to be really good. My pepper plants, they're called explosive peppers. They are really hot. Really, really hot. Looks like a Christmas tree now though. Look at that. Look at all them red peppers. Since I put this cover on, and they're starting to grow new pods. And I thought it was done. I thought it had stopped. See, there's new pods about to grow. It's about to create new peppers. There's a little one right there. But they're starting to grow now. They're happy too. And there's a new one right there. Then I have my Asian spinach. And these are transplants. A buddy of mine grabbed them out of his garden and gave them to me, and he just took stems and leaves. And so this one didn't have any of those flowers. It just had that one big flower. It didn't have any of them little flowers. This one had one flower down here and it had none of this. It was just a stick like over there. And this stick didn't have any flowers neither, but it had a root, so I stuck it in it anyway. And this guy here was that one big leaf, and now it has a bunch of companion leaves. And this one here, he left probably a couple leaves on it, but now it's bushing up really well. And if you notice right down there, guess what that is? That's a peanut plant that I planted when this heat wave started, and being that it got so hot, I planted this whole bed with peanuts. None of them would come up. And guess what? Now here comes this guy. So I'm gonna leave them there and see what happens. You know, they add nitrogen to the soil, just like the purple hull peas does. So I'm gonna leave it. Let's see. See what happens. And here's my oregano, beautiful oregano. I have Italian oregano here, and I have Greek oregano. And they haven't grown any since I put them in here. Basically, I mean, this is as big as they got. They haven't got really. They're supposed to get really bushy. I'm hoping having this cucumber plant here doesn't shade them too much, that they get enough sun. But it's too late. I've already planted these crazy cucumbers. These are the only things that did not care about that intense sun. They just kept growing and growing and growing and growing. And so eventually, I came out here and decided that, all right, that if anybody will save, is them, and I decided to trellis them straight up so they can just grow straight up. And since I trellised them, they seem like they've been growing about 6 inches a day or something like that. It's crazy, you know. But if I back off of them, you can see I got a pretty high trellis. Garden trellis I brought from Home Depot. I just put 2 of them together and then you know, enforce them, you know, with the bamboo sticks and the garden sticks. And I should be able to keep control of these guys. If I can, I'll figure something out. So here's a tour of the inside of my grow house. That's what we'll call it. We'll call it a hot summer grow house. And these guys here pretty much just killed over when exposed to the sun. They're supposed to be sunflower plants. They don't like the dang sun. That's for sure. Not that intense sun. They like, you know, some sun. Like they were starting to all look like that out in the open. One day they went from that to that. So now we're budding, and even that they're budding now. They're very happy. So I think I may leave this up all the way throughout. You know, we have a long growing season. We don't get cold until probably December. So we'll see. I have some corn there, extra corn. I'll probably transplant them in those open spaces right there of corn that never came up because the soil was exposed to the intense heat also. But did you have it? I'll give you an update in a couple of weeks. Thanks for watching my video. Please click the like button and subscribe. And I got a bunch of other videos you might be interested in too. All right, thanks for watching.